When did you decide you wanted to play baseball professionally, Ron? When did that happen?
Oh, when I was 3, probably.
Okay.
But in high school, I was the little scrappy guy. I wasn't very big, but I would like choke up that much and just hit singles everywhere.
Right.
And then in 1 year, I grew to 6'1", 180. And so when I was a freshman in college, suddenly, like no D1 school would have been interested in me in high school. But suddenly in freshman in college, scouts were saying, wait a minute, where'd this guy come from? Because I had skills, I just didn't have size. And then I realized I'd have a shot. And I was going to get drafted as a sophomore, but I wanted to keep playing basketball and baseball. So I signed after my senior year.
With who?
With the Orioles.
The Orioles? Okay, so you were always in the Orioles system, pretty much?
No, I thought I was going to sign with the Angels. And then my whole career, I was in the Orioles system.
Right. Who was with you in the Orioles system that we might know?
There's a funny story in here. I signed, I went from LAX, from Santa Barbara to Bluefield, West Virginia, in the middle of coal country. The rookie league, the Appalachian League. And I get there, I'm a third baseman. And there's 50, 60 guys there. The season starts the next day. And I'm going, but there's only 25 roster spots. So 60 guys thought they were on a team and we're still competing. And I look at, and there's less guys taking infield at short than anywhere else. So I said, I'm a shortstop. This is true. And I made the team. It's a really great story. And we started the next night. And 2 weeks later, Joe Altobelli is starting his career as a manager after a career, Crash Davis kind of career.
Yes.
Cup of coffee in the big leagues, AAA star. He calls me in and he says, son, big cigarette, he said, how'd you like to play second base? And I said, no, I'm playing shortstop. I'm killing it. I'm hitting third. I haven't made an error. And he says, well, Orioles just signed their number 1 pick, a kid out of Long Beach named Bobby Grich.
Bobby Grich.
I said, he's got to beat me out. And he says, son, he's already beat you out. He's their number 1 pick. They give him a lot of money. How much money they give you? I said, well, what about our second baseman, Jimmy Morrell? He's doing great. Joe on the camera, he says, son, do you want to play second base or do you want Jimmy Morrell to play second base? And I said, Skip, I love second base. And Jimmy Morrell was gone the next day. And welcome to pro baseball.
I thought for some reason you were saying third base, you had to move off it because Brooks Robinson was going to be living there anyway for forever and a day. So I thought that's where that one was going. Let me tell you,
when I got to AAA, we had a AAA third baseman who had been 4 years in a row International League All-Star. Didn't get a cup of coffee in the big leagues till he was 32 years old. It was Mike Ferraro. He was a hell of a player because he was insurance for Brooks. And rather than sit on the bench in Baltimore, they wanted him to be sharp, and so he played every day and not getting a chance in the big leagues.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's what a
Until
story
he was
that
over
is.
the hill. Yeah.
What a story that is. Yeah. That's unreal.
He was a bit of the inspiration, not his personality, but his dilemma for Crash Davis.
I'd imagine so, right? That you're there and you want to be in the bigs, but they need you to stay sharp. So you go where you can get the ABs, and Brooks Robinson's never going to, he hardly missed anything.
He never missed a game.
Unbelievable.
And then the other guy who was inspiration was, I write a lot about this guy, Steve Dalkowski, who's considered the hardest thrower ever played by almost everybody. And in the minor leagues, in Bakersfield, he would show up begging money. He was an alcoholic, and then he would come to the clubhouse, and Joe Altobelli, who was my manager most of my career, he would go out and give him money, and we'd say, who is that, Joe? He said, that's Steve Dalkowski. And these stories of Dalkowski started coming out. He'd been in the Baltimore organization for, I think, 10 years.
Right.
His career was 13 strikeouts, 13 walks a game. He had one game was 20 strikeouts, 20 walks. And,
come on.
Oh, yeah. No, he's like through 300, 400 pitches a game. He was a little lefty. And, I mean, the legends are all, I write about him in the thing. And he took him all these years and Earl Weaver, a minor league manager in Double-A, got him to, like Sandy Koufax, don't throw so hard, Steve. You still throw 100 miles an hour. Just throw 80%. And so he had this great year in Triple-A, and he made the major league roster after 12 years, and he hurt his arm in spring training fielding a bunt.
Come on.
Fielding a bunt. So he gets to AAA, and he was an alcoholic too. Dalco. Died in COVID, sadly, in a rest home. So Dalco gets to AAA after all these years in the minors.
Yeah.
And they room him with Joe Altobelli, who's a 36-year-old AAA veteran, because one guy's so mature and the other guy's a mess. And they said, Joe, your job is to mature him and just keep an eye on him. And I said, what was that like? And Joe says, the old line, he says, I don't know, I roomed with his suitcase because he was out drinking all night.
And that
became that relationship of Nuke and of Dalkowski and Joe Altobelli, not the specifics of their character, but the dynamic became
Nuke and Crash.
Became Bull Durham.